Okay, this is a video to explain while you're doing a vehicle listing where that information will show up in your listing. If you look at the top here, I have two windows. Our initial window is our sample vehicle. I'll click that. This is a sample listing of a Chevelle, 1972 Chevelle Malibu, and it has a description here. The part that confuses a lot of people is this whole top part, description, and where does that information actually come in so that once their listing is completed, it looks correct to them. If you're a first time or new to listing a vehicle, this video should help explain where this information comes in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to my other window here, which is where I'm going to start a new listing for a vehicle. And basically when you select cars and trucks, and you select Chevelle or Chevrolet, excuse me, and then Chevelle. It'll ask if you want to save and continue. If you go back over to our sample listing, you'll see right here, cars and trucks, Chevrolet, Chevelle. So that's the same category. That's what will show up when people look at your listing. That's the category your listing will be in. But what also will happen is it will put the make and model in your listing automatically and place it right here. So whatever is in the make and model of your category is going to end up right here. The date and this extra verbiage will come later when you're doing your listing, and I'll show you. And also this verbiage underneath will also come later, and I'll show you where that is. So let's go back to our listing, and we'll go ahead and hit save and continue. And for these purposes, we're going to go ahead and just sell nationally. And we already have all of our information since it's a test. We're going to just hit save and continue. Now, here's where I want to explain how all of this information here is transferred to your listing so you'll understand what you want to type and how you want to type it. For example, right now, Chevrolet Chevelle is already here. So we go back to our sample listing again, just to reiterate, it will show up right here. Go back to our listing. So whatever's in this vehicle type is going to show up there. This descriptive listing is up to 80 characters. If I was to type this in, just so we'll know, descriptive, get my typing right, listing title, 80 characters. All right, so that explains that we need 80 we have up to 80 characters in this portion. But what I'll show you is later is that this descriptive listing, we'll go back to our sample, the descriptive listing is actually right here. So when I finish my listing, I should have the words descriptive listing 80 characters in the second line item. So I'll go back here and I'm going to leave that condition. We'll just fill out some of this stuff really quick. Here's the most important one that confuses people, submodel. If I type something into submodel, you get up to 12 characters, and that's all you can have is 12 characters in your submodel. If we go back to our Chevrolet Chevelle here, the submodel is actually going to show up here. So it's very important that if you want the top line of your listing to read something up in this portion, then during your listing you'll put that in the submodel. But remember, you only get 12 characters. And lastly, the year. If you choose this year, whatever year we choose here, even though no matter what year you choose here, go back to our site, it will end up right here, not down here. This is only the descriptive listing part. The year will actually show up here. So I hope that explains it. I could actually go ahead and just fill out the rest of this real quick and just show you what it would look like. I'll just type something, just test description real quick. Just going really quick through this because I just really want to pay attention to what's on the top of the listing. Now if I hit preview right now, you see it's not filled in. None of this is filled in up here. So you can see where I wrote descriptive listing title 80 characters. That'll prove that this is the bottom line when you fill that in. The top portion is not filled in, but it will be later. So we'll go and X out of this and hit continue. And we won't worry about filling out any of this stuff. We'll just hit continue. This is just to show you what it looks like. This bottom portion, we're going to go back to this again, save and continue. And go down here, save and continue. Now, before I actually submit this, because I don't want to, I want to just show you what it looks like. I can do a preview of my listing, and there it is. It shows the year that we talked about, the Chevrolet Chevelle where it's supposed to be, where we talked about getting it from here. And notice how submodel is on the first line and descriptive listing is on the second line. So I hope that explains it, and I'm glad you could watch my tutorial.